Brianna Diamond had me driving around the city of Baltimore, the state of Maryland, it seemed, looking for a sister named Hope that nobody else said existed, I knew I'd had enough. Apparently, so did my old supervisor, my life mentor, Ava Diggs. The day she announced her retirement following Diana's case was the day I came up with my present plan. Ava had wanted me to take the reins over from her, but I quickly directed them to my former office mate, the control-hungry diva Sheena Booth. I'd had enough of the system and the sorrows within it to not want to become the captain of a sinking ship. I'd stayed as long as I could under Sheena's leadership, swallowing my pride to follow the girl child's directions, but I started working toward my private practice immediately. It had taken 2 years, but the whole Soul Center was now finally up and running, full-time and fully on me. Nobody had told me how difficult it would be to build up my own practice. As close as I was cutting it to my son's flight, I was even closer to bankruptcy. I couldn't afford to turn away Janellis and Braden when they'd called asking for immediate help just under an hour ago. They had offered to come as cash customers, no insurance forms or protocol to worry with, and I figured I could spare an hour for them, especially if they turned out to be regulars. I was having second thoughts. The two still looked at each other, a silent conversation occurring between them. "What brings you in today?" I pried again. "We're getting married." Janellis finally broke their silence. "That's it?" I wanted to say. Plenty of people had been there, done that. I mean, even I had made a visit to the altar, uttering a "till death do us part" promise that I wholly meant and wholly failed. Actually, I hadn't failed. I just hadn't seen my husband in 16 years, and was uncertain about whether death had done us part. It's complicated. The last time something Richard St. James came up in my life, it almost cost my sanity and my son's safety. I shut my eyes quickly to the searing pain that wanted to well up in me at the memory of the empty urn and the gaudy ring that sent me on a wild goose chase nearly 2 years ago. I'd put the pain aside since then, determined to show an absent man and a proud me that I could carry on my life without him, without any man. "When's the big day?" I blinked, blocking out the host of emotions that wanted to break through me like a water dam. Plus, I was still waiting for why these people had me about to miss sending off my only begotten at the BWI Thurgood Marshall Airport. "Our wedding is 2 weeks from now." Janellis tried to smile. The way she looked, I couldn't help but wonder if we were talking about a wedding or a funeral. "And we just got engaged 2 weeks ago." Braden cleared his throat and wrapped his large hands tighter over Janellis's delicate manicured ones. Why the big rush? I caught myself from saying it out loud. They had to be pushing their mid-40s, so I doubted that a hush-hush baby was the reason for their run to the altar. As if reading my mind, Janellis piped in. "We wanted our wedding reception to be at the Le Chambre Rouge, and that weekend was the only date they had available for the next 18 months. Braden had more to add. "They had a last-minute cancellation, and Janellis and I offered the highest bid out of 8 other couples." "Oh, I see." I nodded like I even knew what the Le Chambre Rouge was. I jotted a quick note on my pad to Google it later. Braden seemed pleased that I was scribbling something down. I was thinking of another question to ask to move the conversation forward when a loud ring interrupted me. "I'm sorry," Braden mumbled, pulling out a phone. He started to press a button, but his finger...
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.